Astrology isn't just about signs and symbols. It's a tool for navigating real life. Hello, and welcome to Astrology with Elisa. I'm your host, Elisa Dixon, and I'm so glad you're here. Let's dive in. We are in the thick of Virgo season, and while all eyes are on the eclipses right now, there's another planet that has been really loud in the background, and that's Uranus. Here's the thing about Uranus energy. When I'm not aware of it, it catches me completely off guard. Some of the most chaotic, disruptive, and downright surprising moments in my life have Uranus written all over them. But when I can see it coming, when I'm conscious of it, I can actually direct that same disruptive energy into breakthroughs, lightning bolt ideas, and sudden clarity. That's the higher vibe of Uranus. And right now, that energy is turned up high. Why? Because Virgo season opened with a new moon that squared Uranus. So we started this whole season with Virgo's need for order bumping right into Uranus-style chaos. Routine versus disruption. And you can feel it in the air. And on top of that, Uranus is in Gemini, the other Mercury-ruled sign besides Virgo. So Mercury is everywhere right now. Our thoughts, our nervous system, our conversations, our daily rhythms. And Uranus doesn't make that steadier. It scrambles it. It sends sparks through the system, like static electricity that won't settle down. Then, just to layer on even more, Uranus stations retrograde on Saturday, September 6th. That's the day before the Pisces Lunar Eclipse. And outer planets hold a lot of power when they station, for about a week before and a week after. Their energy is buzzing and hard to ignore. And if all that wasn't enough, in the wee hours of the morning today, Mercury squared Uranus, making all of this buzzing a little more personal. If you haven't noticed Uranus yet, today's the day that Mercury brings it front and center. When these two planets connect in the sky, especially in a square, we feel it in our communications and in our thoughts. Don't be surprised if you hear something outrageous, something you didn't see coming. And I'd probably recommend watching your words for the next few days, because with Uranus and Mercury together, we think fast, we speak even faster, and miscommunications can occur. So we've got eclipse season, plus Uranus stationing, and now Mercury making sure we're aware of it all. And that's a lot. And it's no wonder that restlessness, anxious thoughts, and a sense of instability are louder right now. It can feel overwhelming. But here's the flip side. That same unstable current is also where breakthroughs can happen. Because Uranus doesn't just disrupt for no reason. It cracks open what's rigid. It shocks us out of autopilot. It forces us to see things differently. This can look like chaos when you're unprepared, but it also can look like freedom when you're willing to work with it. So how do we work with it? First, don't overschedule. Build in room for changes and surprises. That's one way to stay on the good side of Uranus. Second, ground your nervous system. Because Gemini plus Virgo plus Uranus plus Mercury is a complete mental overload if you're not anchored. So get outside, breathe, move your body, simplify your to-do list, say no to things that aren't absolutely necessary. And third, stay curious. Uranus loves to bring in sudden downloads, aha moments, flashes of insight that shift your perspective. So write them down. Don't brush them off. Those ideas may be the gift of Uranus energy right now. Watch how Uranus shows up even in the little things. Plans that shift, conversations that take a surprising turn, technology that decides to glitch at the worst possible moment. These are Uranus calling cards. And when you notice them, pause before you react. Instead of just getting frustrated, ask yourself, what's being shaken loose here? What's trying to break through? Because even though sometimes it feels like it in the moment, Uranus really isn't here to make life harder. It's here to jolt us awake, to spark insight, to shake us out of autopilot, to show us another way forward. So this week, keep something nearby to capture those flashes of insight. Write them down. Record a note on your phone. Catch the lightning while it's still hot. Restless energy can feel like anxiety, but it can also be the signal that you're standing right on the edge of a breakthrough. That's Uranus energy at its best. And we can absolutely choose to use Uranus that way if we're consciously aware. And we actually have one more thing on our side this week. Saturn quietly dipped back into Pisces on Monday, right into the part of the sky where the lunar eclipse is happening on Sunday. Now, Saturn in Pisces isn't exactly solid ground. It's more like fluid stability. But it does bring form and structure and a sense of time and discipline to balance out the disruption Uranus is sparking. Where Uranus is new and rebellious, Saturn is old and consistent. And remember, Saturn has been in Pisces for the last 2 years, asking you to put structure behind your dreams in that area of your chart. But back in May, Saturn moved into Aries and started a new story there. But now it's circling back, asking you to finish what didn't quite get done in Pisces. Think back to what was going on last winter into spring. That thread is coming back into focus now. And this is helpful because as Uranus sparks new ideas and breakthroughs, Saturn gives us the discipline to shape them into something real. Last week, I said, do your moon when we were going into eclipse season and feeling the stress. Do your moon. This week, that still stands. But I'm also going to encourage you to do your Saturn. Do the work you know needs to be done, but do it with the fresh, inspired ideas Uranus is bringing. Uranus and Saturn don't always get along. They stand for completely opposite things. But if you can harness the best of each, you can build something electrifyingly amazing. And one more side note. Now that Saturn has slipped into the last degree of Pisces, it's also going to help shorten those long void of course moons we've been dealing with all summer. That was actually the topic of my Astro Bestie chat this past Sunday, how to work with the void of course moon energy. If you haven't already watched that conversation, I'll leave the link in the show notes because we're about to have a 19-hour void of course moon this weekend, starting Friday at 4:51 p.m. Eastern, lasting until Saturday morning at 11:54 a.m., when the moon moves into Pisces just hours before the eclipse. So yes, this is a big week, but you've got both Uranus and Saturn on the table. And when you bring them together with awareness, you get both the spark of change and the strength to make it real. Thank you so much for listening. If you are feeling this restless energy and you'd like to explore how it's hitting your chart, you can always visit my website, www.astrologywithalisa.com, and book a reading with me. And this Sunday, my Astro Besties and I are celebrating Virgo season over on the Astrology with Alisa podcast YouTube channel with an Astro Bestie chat all about how Virgo shows up in real life. We're sharing stories of how we see Virgo energy in some of our closest family members and friends. You won't want to miss it. The video will be live Sunday at 10 a.m., and I hope to see you all over there. Thanks again for listening. Take care, and I'll see you next time.